On this episode of the Outsiders Club, Mario and Brianna are up the creek without a...
Paddle? Where's my paddle?
Okay, really? They embark on an in-your-face wildlife adventure.
Look, Brianna, an alligator.
What?
Okay, stay away from that. After setting up camp on the Wekiwa River, Mario and Brianna help the park rangers set the woods on fire. Wait, that can't be right.
It's a prescribed fire, and it helps the forest.
Oh, okay, that sounds better. This will be Outsider TV at its finest. It's time for the Outsiders Club. Roll that beautiful intro.
Come on, let's go outside. We're gonna have some fun outside. It's where we are, it's who we are. It's the Outsiders Club.
Check this out.
We are surf fishing in Sebastian Inlet State Park.
Wow!
Brandon?
Over here.
It's over there.
Keep it outside.
Come on, let's go outside. We're gonna have some fun outside. Yeah, keep it outside. Where the sun shines bright, it's the Outsiders Club.
This is so peaceful. Wow, this river looks almost not real. It's so beautiful.
Oh, it's real. You're gonna love this campsite. My dad and I camped here last year.
Are we getting close?
So close. In fact, this is it. We're here.
We're here?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is amazing.
I know.
Hello, Outsiders, and welcome to the show. I'm Brianna, and this is Mario. And today, as you can see, we are in paradise.
Well, more specifically, Wekiwa Springs State Park in Apopka, Florida.
And today, we are camping and showing off this epic state park. There are some places you visit that you never forget, and this is one of them. The star of the show here is the second magnitude spring, which is the main water source for the Wekiwa River. One of the more popular activities here is to rent a canoe to check out all the wildlife on the river. There are plenty of places to camp along the way. Or you can always just jump in the spring. The trees, the water, the wildlife.
It just feels like you're wrapped in a nature blanket.
A nature blanket?
Yeah, that's how it makes me feel.
Okay. I'm not here to judge, but we are here to camp, so let's get set up. All right, so it should be over here.
No, it's over here.
Believe me, I'm
Why
pretty
don't you
sure.
just ever listen to me?
No, well, it's not that I never listen to you, it's just that I'm
The
always
scenery.
right.
The scenery. Think about the scenery.
Well,
What do you want to wake up to in the morning?
Where's the bathroom in here?
It's perfect. I did that.
What are you doing?
I have no idea.
I can tell.
Good afternoon, guys. How are things going?
Oh, great, but we can't seem to get this fire going.
Let me give you a hand with that. I am on the wildland firefighting team. My name's Jordan Raymond. I am a park ranger here at Wekiwa Springs State Park and been here for 5 years. Today, it's an exciting day. We're doing a prescribed fire here at Wekiwa Springs State Park. So right now, I'm going around just letting people know at the campsites that what we're doing out here, so if they do smell any smoke in the air or see any smoke in the air, just not to be too alarmed, just to be okay, and then everything's fine. You guys have any kindling?
What's that?
Anything like toilet paper or napkins?
I think we have napkins, right?
Yeah.
Mario and Brianna were having a difficult time setting up with their fire, something that we come across a lot out here. So I figured I'd come over and show them a way how to get their fire going with a quick, easy method. We'll go ahead and start removing some of this wood. Thank you.
Yep.
Alrighty, guys, so what we're gonna do here is make a log cabin house style. Coming into the park, you should always check with your ranger station to see if we have any fire bans. It's very important to check that in just in case if we do have one, not to have any campfires going on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stack 2 pieces here, and then we're gonna go ahead and put 2 pieces across. I showed Mario and Brianna a simple way of stacking the firewood in their fire pit, which is called the log cabin. The log cabin fire is a good way of stacking wood so that air can travel up through it and help carry the flames up from the small kindlings burning beneath. What we're doing, we're gonna go ahead and put this guy down there. Put some of these smaller pieces down there as well to help start it. And what will this help do? This will help provide air to travel through underneath so that we can get this fire going. Mario and Brianna were making a common mistake. They were lighting one of the bigger logs that don't usually catch right away. You got to start off with a smaller process with smaller pieces of kindling and tinder that can get the fire going so you can light off your bigger fuel logs. And then we'll need a lighter. You guys have a lighter or anything to start a fire?
Yeah.
All right. Then what we'll do is we'll come down here, move this log over. Having a fire is the iconic experience of camping. Having those skills and confidence to build a fire can lead you to having a great time camping here at Wekiwa. If you guys want to break these in half, throw them on top. The smaller the pieces, it catches on fire easier. Something like this is going to require a lot more of a heat source to light it, and you had just a little lighter on there, that wouldn't burn anything like that. Your little flame is good for stuff like little kindling and stuff that can burn, get things going. You get the small stuff burning, and then you can start stacking your bigger stuff on top to generate the heat. And as this bottom heat starts hitting the bigger wood, it'll catch on fire, and then the rest of the wood you can just start piling it on top because you've already had your heat build at the bottom, so you don't need to do any more of the small kindling stuff.
Do we have to keep the fire in like a ring?
Yes, for safety reasons, to prevent any wildfires from spreading out. If people were to do fires outside the ring and they were to leave the site or anything like that, a lot of times the fire will tend to spread on the leaves and then just travel across, and if it hits a good patch of fuel, which is pine needles or anything like that on the ground, it can just start a fire, and then from there on it can spread to a wildfire. So it's always important to have a safe, secure around your fire. Rocks, metal ring, anything dirt, mineral, anything that fire cannot travel on is good to have around it. All righty, guys, it looks like we got our fire going. All right, fist bump it up.
Boom.
Good job, guys.
Now that's a fire.
Thanks, Ranger Jordan.
Oh, no problem. I'm actually out here to warn you guys that we're doing a prescribed fire inside the park. If you guys want to come check it out, you can.
What?
I take that as a yes. All right. I thought Mario and Brianna would have a great experience out there enjoying the prescribed fire with us, so taking them out there would be a great time to show them what we do out there on the front lines.
This is so great. I can't believe we're gonna go check out a prescribed fire.
Well, I already smell like smoke, so why not?
What did our outsiders get themselves into?
You ready to do this?
Yes.
Find out when we come back.
Prescribed fires are necessary because it helps maintain the natural habitat of Florida. It also helps us prevent with wildfires by cutting down ground fuels. Pine needles, down branches, dead trees could be potential hazards for wildfires with lightning strikes. Alrighty, guys, we're here at the engine.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over here and hand you guys some jumpsuits, and we're gonna go ahead and put them on. And then I'm gonna get you guys your fire shelter, and we'll do the fire shelter test. Before I could take Mario and Brianna out to the actual prescribed fire, I figured I'd show them some lessons that we do to train before we actually go ourselves out on the fire by taking them through the pack test. We got one jumpsuit for you.
Thank you.
And here's your other jumpsuit. It's just one big coverall, so just slip on into it.
I think I'm gonna beat you with this.
Well, it's not a race.
Whoa.
Not a race yet.
It's
Not yet.
It's not a competition.
This is
Maybe you can...
trickier than I thought. I think I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm doing pretty good.
I just keep falling.
Kind of a professional. Wow, I'm already done. What are you doing? That's not normal. That looks painful.
Got it.
Let's take a look. See how you're doing. You're almost there, buddy. All right. All right. And you're all set. No hope for you. All right. You guys are looking good. You guys are looking like firefighters. All right, guys, on to the next thing. We're gonna do the fire shelter test. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. This fire shelter is a key item on a fire. If you do not have one of these, they do not actually let us onto the fire, because this is the one thing that's going to protect us if something goes wrong. Fire shelter is a shelter that protects you if you were in danger to be engulfed by fire. You were to lay in it and stay in it until told to get out. So inside of here, this is what we're going to do. You guys are going to have 30 seconds to get into one of these. This is a last case scenario option. You definitely try to get out of there by foot if you can. You drop all the equipment you have in your hands except for your fire shelter and radio. If it comes down to deploying a fire shelter, the only thing you should bring in the fire shelter with you is your radio. So what you do is, when you take it out, you hold on your hip and you bring it out. You can throw that to the side. And what you do is you pull these red tabs. These red tabs are going to open it up for you.
Okay.
So you can pull it to the side. And then make sure you throw everything away from you, because you don't want nothing near you that can burn. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to swing it open until you have it open.
Looks like a big sugar snap peak.
Yeah. And then you go ahead and keep this hand over here. And what you're going to do is get your boot in here. Bring this over your head. Get one knee in. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hunch down and get underneath it. Basically lay into it, flat down. And then hold spread angles so that your arms are out and your legs are out holding it tight. So the wind can't pull it up or anything so that it stays securely down.
Wow. Wait, we're getting in an oversized trash bag?
He's been in there for a while.
He's not moving.
Touch him.
I don't, okay.
Come.
Oh!
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Waiting for you guys to get me out of here. And that is how you get in and out of a fire shelter, guys. You will walk out safe every time.
You ready to do this?
Yes.
I hope I never have to use this thing. But if I do, I can do it faster than Mario.
Mario was all over the place, locking and rolling, locking and rolling. I've never seen that before.
What is wrong with that boy?
I'm locking, I'm rolling, I'm feeling it.
This is definitely not a nature blanket.
I'm locked. You know, he likes me.
Mario, that's enough.
I think I might be on the team soon. So that's exciting. Locked! Locked!
Get unlocked, Mario, unlock! That's not a technique we teach in the fire training.
The Great Florida Birding and Wildlife Trail website is a great resource for discovering where you can view wildlife. You can also use it to track your finds and earn certificates. Basically, you can win for seeing some awesome wildlife. So it's a win-win. Go to floridabirdingtrail.com for more information. Go out and just bird it up.
Now it's time to get near the fire line. This is gonna be cool. So this is a prescribed fire.
This is a prescribed fire.
It's not normal to be able to get a chance to see this. I'm really excited that we're out here.
You're watching the Outsiders Club, and we'll be right back.
We last left our outsiders at Wekiwa Springs State Park, training for a prescribed fire. And now it's time for the real deal.
It's time to take Mario and Brianna over to the prescribed fire to get them close to the fire line.
I just thought we were going camping, but we're learning about prescribed fires. This is so cool.
It's not normal to be able to get a chance to see this. I'm really excited that we're out here.
So this is a prescribed fire.
This is a prescribed fire. People think it's crazy that we're out here setting the woods on fire, but in all reality, it's a very important resource management tool for us to use. The reason we do it is to help maintain the habitat. It also helps promote growth in homes and food for native species here in Florida, such as the gopher tortoise and scrub jays. And it also helps out with the plant species like pine trees, wiregrass, and palmetto. As you can see, that gentleman over there, that guy's our burn boss. He's the one in charge of putting all of this together, assembling the crew, making sure we have the right equipment to pull off this burn. As you can see over there, that guy over there in the engine, he's an engine boss. He's the one that has to make sure he stays with that engine at all times and run the pump, while the rest of the crew who are using the hose and the drip torches over there, which are crew members, they're the ones he's delegating and telling them what to do as he operates the pump for them. Our goal is to cut down fuel reduction all underneath these trees. We are not trying to kill any of the pine trees. Actually our goal is to keep any of the pine trees alive as possible. We do precautions by setting fire around the trees at first to burn everything else around it. By the time fire hits it, there's not a lot of ground fuel to burn around the tree.
What's that can that guy's holding?
Oh, that guy's holding it, what's called a drip torch. It has what's called burn mix in it with a combination of diesel and gasoline, which helps carry the fire on the ground.
So there was a guy walking around with a can and it had liquid in it called drip torch, and he basically was the one setting the woods on fire. I want that job.
Why does he have like an extinguisher at the bottom of that tree?
Oh, well, that's a pine tree, and at the bottom of that pine tree is a cat base. It absorbs a lot of the heat and then catches on fire, and the fire won't go out right away because it's burning the sap on there, which is like an oil base. So that sap is just gonna keep lighting and lighting and lighting until someone actually puts it out. So that's why he's putting it out, to avoid the tree from also dying.
I can't believe you guys are lighting the woods on fire.
Yeah, you believe it, right? We get paid to do things like this, but in reality, we're preventing wildfires doing this. Another important role would be weather. It's important that we have a reading done every hour so we know that what we're going against, just to see if there's any wind changes, any relative humidity change, or wind direction change as well.
And what's that guy with the rake? What's he doing?
He's raking in what's called a fire line, so that he's making sure that there's mineral there, dirt or sand, so the fire can't spread over there.
This is a real team effort. I mean, there's one guy with a rake, one guy with a hose, some lady was checking the weather. I mean, this is a real big deal.
What happens if the fire spreads over the fire line?
If the fire spreads over the fire line, it turns into what's called a spot fire, which can be a potential wildfire at that point, and it can spread. So quickly, we attack it with hand tools and then water so that it doesn't spread anymore. And if you believe it or not, within a matter of days, you'll start seeing stuff growing through it. The wiregrass especially.
There's so much fire. How can anything live through this?
Believe it or not, everything is going to live through this. All the Florida native species actually depend on fire. As you can look at these pine trees, there's no branches low hanging. Everything's top high. Throughout history, these pine trees have learned to survive with fire. So instead of branching down beneath, they're gonna go ahead and branch out at the top of the canopy so everything down below can get hit by fire and still live.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Next, I wanted to take Mario and Brianna out to a zone that we had just recently burned so they can see what it looks like afterwards in the regrowth of new life.
After helping with the burn team, Ranger Jordan suggested that Mario and I visit a site that had been burned just a month ago. It was amazing. There was new growth all around, and we could see signs of wildlife everywhere. This is blowing my mind that fire can actually be good for the forest. Who knew? Wow! Do I smell like a campfire?
Did you know that the gopher tortoise is kind of a big deal?
Gopher tortoises rely on fire in their habitats to renew the grasses and other plants they eat, and hundreds of animals shelter in their burrows. So prescribed fire helps all the animals who depend on this keystone species.
I wonder if gopher tortoises know how important they are. I don't think they do.
We were supposed to go straight up the creek.
Me and Mario made a great canoe team.
We'll back that way, this way.
Not at all, actually. You're watching The Outsiders Club, and we'll be right back.
Okay, we're back. Mario and Brianna just wrapped up helping with the prescribed fire. Wow, I can barely keep up with you guys. And now they're on Wekiwa River checking out wildlife.
One activity you've got to try while you're here is canoeing down the Wekiwa River. The Wekiwa River is an amazing place to see all kinds of animals. An alligator. The river is narrow, so all the wildlife congregate near the river's edge. This makes for some awesome, in-your-face wildlife viewing. In just a short time, we saw alligators, of course, turtles, raccoons, turkeys, and too many birds to count. So we were supposed to go straight up the creek.
Mario had no idea what he was doing. He was out of control.
In a sort of straight line fashion.
I said go left, and he was going right.
It ended up being this way.
I said go right, and he was like, oh no, I think I'll just relax in the back here and let you do all the work. And
We'll back that way, this way.
I don't think you're okay. Why are we going sideways?
Over here, we were over here at one point.
We are not where we should be.
It was a whole thing.
We're going into trees. We need to back up. It was a teamwork effort, though.
It was a bit of a struggle because we were going against the current, so we were going to this side of the river, and then, you know, we would back up, and then we would eventually just run into the other side, and it was just a complete circle until we finally got it. It was a mess, but we made it.
Okay, to the right, to the right, to the right! Me and Mario made a great canoe team. No, not at all, actually. Oh. Okay.
What a show this has been.
I know, right?
Learning to build a fire was super cool, and I didn't know that just by burning a prescribed fire, we could help out the forest so much.
Yeah, and don't forget about our wildlife encounters.
Well, we have to go back and camp, but we want to encourage you to spend some more time outside.
Check us out on Instagram, and you can watch our show on our YouTube channel. And remember, keep it outside. I'm gonna smell like a campfire for the rest of my life.
I'm also picking up hints of marshmallow and bug spray.
Ha ha, so funny.
Check us out on our Instagram at The Outsiders Club TV and watch all of our shows on our YouTube channel. And for more information, visit theoutsidersclub.com. And remember, keep it outside.